ACCUSTATS Video Productions proudly presents The Legends of One Pocket. I'm Bill Incardona, and joining me shortly, the rifleman Buddy Hall. I see him walking down I'm playing surface now. He's just about to enter the booth. He said he had forgotten his glasses, and I forgot my glasses, so it could have been two of us with glasslessness. He couldn't find his. You forgot your glasses, now you went to the room, you couldn't find them?
They're in the van.
They're in the van. This one works here. The last time we did a tape, if you remember correctly,
You told me
your
to wear my
microphone was
glasses.
off for the first 15 minutes of the tape. Now, is it working? Go testing.
Testing.
All right, the people out there in Hawaii, if you can hear Buddy, just nod your head. Okay. Buddy, this is the Legends of One Pocket. We're in Columbia, South Carolina, promoted by Grady Matthews, a friend of yours and mine for a long, long time. And he has put together what I feel is going to be the finest One Pocket tournament, to the best of my recollection. I don't remember any tournament really having as many quality players in it as this one right here.
This is really amazing. He's brought out the greatest of all the players. I'm really looking forward to it myself. I see some faces here I haven't seen in years. It just brought them out of the woodwork.
Yeah, a couple of those people, by the way, barely have a pulse. I can't believe he found them. I don't know where he got them at, but they're certainly here. And the feature match of the evening features a player from the South by the name of Eddie Burton. And I don't have my glasses. Shortly they will arrive.
He's from Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson, South Carolina. And I really know the gentleman that he's playing quite well, being from my hometown, Chicago, Illinois, that everyone knows him as Freddy The Beard Bentivegna.
Right. Eddie started playing pool when he was about 14 years old. He played his best pool at around the age of 20. He's finished high in the world tournaments before. He finished second in the World One Pocket next to Billy Staten in Las Vegas, Nevada. He finished second in the 9-ball division in Johnson City, and he finished fourth in the 9-ball in Johnson City.
Well, there's no question about it. The two players out there this evening certainly do know how to play the game of one pocket. Technically, they play as well as anybody on the tour today. And one other point I'd like to bring to your attention, not to your attention, but to our viewers' attention, is that the size of the pockets. The size of the pockets on this particular table, or on all the tables out there on the floor, are 4.5 inches maximum. And they were designed that way on purpose by Grady, because he figures that he's tired of having players shoot into 5 and 5.5 inch pockets on him.
Right.
So he decided that he would use 4.5 inch pockets for his event.
Right.
What's that going to do to the game?
That's going to make people miss a lot of long shots.
Okay.
Okay, Freddie elected to keep him. He stuck him in the stack here. He didn't leave much. If this was my shot, I believe I'd shoot 11, try to stick him against the back of the 6th.
Okay, now Freddie's pocket is naturally the pocket to the right, the lower right-hand corner, pocket of Eddie standing in front of. And Buddy suggested he just...
No, he broke. Didn't Eddie break the balls?
Oh, that's right. Eddie broke the balls. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, well, that's for sure the right shot, Buddy. You stick him between the 5 and the 6. That'll do just fine. Okay, now in this particular tournament, there's a rule modification, and that is that you are only allowed to take one intentional scratch. So keep that in mind.
Right, but I think taking an intentional scratch here is just, it would worsen the matter here. I think if I was him, I'd either try to shoot or just send the cue ball toward his hole and hit it good and hard.
But there really isn't a place to take an intentional scratch. Now, the 9-ball is located on the right-hand side of the table. If the 9-ball wasn't in the position that it is in, then he could take an intentional scratch by going up to that right-hand corner, placing the cue ball in that upper right-hand corner pocket. But the 9-ball's there, so he's not able to do that. But it certainly isn't completely out of the question. Freddie tried to mix up the balls. He figured that was his best chance of getting out of the break or out of the situation that he was in. And if the 12 ball would have left the area, possibly he may have gotten out of it, but I don't think it was a wise shot. It was rather risky, but nevertheless, Eddie Burton's now at the table.
I think he was letting Freddie know that Freddie was on 2. 3 fouls in a row, you lose the game.
Okay, now Eddie's electing to get the bridge and try to cut the 3 ball in the lower right-hand corner pocket. I think this is quite a difficult shot, buddy, and especially using the bridge. I don't know if I would shoot this shot here.
Billy, are they playing it like they play the 9-ball and just bounce on the cue ball only?
I would imagine so.
Freddie's got a chance to get out of that hole he put himself in.
Well, Freddie has to feel quite fortunate to be back at the table, considering, how he left the table.
Yeah, he was 2 scratches down.
And he left 2 balls in front of Eddie Burton's hole with the balls relatively open. And Eddie elected to shoot the 3-ball, rather risky shot.
Here, if he can draw back for the 2, he's got a chance to run several balls.
Okay, now the cue ball is going to have to go up table, and that side pocket's going to come into play, and also that 15 ball down the other end of the table. It seems like that 15 ball may be in the path of the cue ball, where the cue ball.
I don't believe I would follow this ball. I believe I would draw it. I'd keep it close to the middle of the table instead of sending it to the side rail first. If he hits a 15 up there, he's in a lot of trouble.
Unless he can hit it thinner than that, which he has. Now he's going to run into the 13. Slightly. He's gotten a little fortuitous kiss off the 13. He's left himself with a perfect angle on the 4. After pocketing the 4, I believe he can just draw the ball back behind the 9 and then slide down to get to 3. Now he has to make sure.
I think Freddie will go for the 3 first.
Okay, well,
he likes to bank.
Yeah, the angle suggests that he should just roll the ball like so down for the bank cross corner.
It looked like he was almost straight in on that ball. Well, Billy, I'm really looking forward. This is our first commentary on one pocket.
Yes, it is. And matter of fact, everywhere I go, buddy, people would just shower me with compliments on how much they enjoy the commentary on the MPBA 9-ball tapes, especially Buddy Hall. I mean, he's such a knowledgeable man, and really, he explains the game so well. He's very clear with his...
You know what I think is, the reason I think that it does so well, boy, it's a nice shot there. The reason I think that it is so good is we just have such a good time doing it.
Oh, sure.
And
I really
fun
enjoy it.
radiates. You know what I mean? It just carries over to the spectators.
Well, people can sense it when the relationship in the intermix is done well, when people are enjoying themselves, and we come across much better with that feeling. Okay, now Eddie seems to be a little tight here. He's got the opening game jitters, as the professor would refer to them as, the opening game jitters.
He almost double banked that into his opponent's hole.
And another thing is that they know their game is being videoed,
monitored,
okay? Well, especially by Buddy Hall, the greatest player possibly of all time, and they're a little nervous out there, and can't blame them. How would you like it if you playing in front of you? I'm just kidding you. Now, when you get a lead on this equipment here with the tight pockets, it's best if you do get balls up table. Freddie has the lead, and most of the balls are up the table. Plus, there are balls on the side cushion, the 1, 10, and 7. But most importantly, Freddie must concentrate on pocketing this ball. I believe this ball put him in the 1 hole.
Is he going to try to draw his ball? I'd be coming down here with a cue ball.
I just do whatever I had to do to cinch the ball.
Yeah.
Put them in a 1 hole. It's really important to get into the 1 hole, especially when the balls are up the other end of the table.
Right.
Now, I like a little shot here. I like to see where the 3 balls are on the side rail. I like to back kick the 7 up the table and freeze the cue ball somewhere behind the 10-1.
Yeah,
it's a nice shot, and you don't give up anything. You eliminate a ball.
Well, see, he could possibly leave a shot here.
Well, he's being a little bit hasty, in trying to win game number 1. He's got a 7-1 advantage. He didn't have to go for that particular shot. Now he's left Eddie a shot on the 7 or the 11. Now, naturally, even if he's no imminent danger of losing this first game, but Eddie can claw his way back into this game if he pockets the 11 and then the 7. Who knows after that what may happen.
Right.
But when you really lock your opponent up, that not only stops him from pocketing balls, but it frustrates him.
Right.
And that's what you want to do. Fortunately for Freddie, Eddie has failed to pocket a ball, buddy. He's at the table looking to pocket game ball in his hand. Now, he shouldn't concern himself about running into the 11 with the cue ball. He should just go ahead and pocket the 10 ball. Now, once again, the 4.5-inch pockets are going to be a lot more difficult to pocket balls in than the 5-inch pocket. He narrowly missed that ball. But
right, I believe he opened them up here. That one ball goes by. I believe the one goes by if he happens to get up above him there. He banked this across the corner. A natural shot to play position on the 1 and 11. Oh, that was a nice shot there.
okay, Eddie, yeah, it certainly was a nice shot. What Freddie should do here is one of two things. He could kick the 10 in, like so. That's an option. Another option he would have, buddy, would be just to roll into the rail.
Just nip
14.
the 8 and lay against the rail.
Either that or roll up by the 14. Or nip the 8, one of the two, right?
I think nip the rail and just nip the 8, just lag to the rail, or just bump him against that part of the 8. Like that. That's
okay.
pretty good.
All right. Now, you see, if Eddie does the same thing, Freddie can bank the 14 and get out of the trap. Now, Eddie must now bank the 14 to the center diamond on the short rail here, buddy, and I believe draw the cue ball back into the 8, getting another ball down table and keeping Freddie in the trap. You like that shot?
Yeah.
I don't like what he's doing here. He's going to allow Freddie to get out of the trap by pocketing the 10 ball.
I just bumped the side of the 14.
See, now that wasn't any good. He gave up his position there. If he would have banked the 14 down to the other end of the table, the center of the cushion, he would have got another ball down table and put him on the 8. I think that would have been the right shot.
Right, or he could have even just shot the 14 just like Freddie shot the 8.
Now, Freddie is not electing to shoot the 10 in here. I think that's a mistake.
He gives him another ball to send
okay,
toward
now
his hole.
He's going to send another ball toward his hole. Now, he should have definitely sent the pocket of the 10 ball in that particular shot.
He could possibly sell out here by giving him a shot at the 7. That's the only bad thing I see about this particular shot.
Yeah, but trailing one ball to 7, I don't think it's much of a choice. He really didn't have much of a choice there.
No.
I mean, when you're trailing 1 to 7, any kind of a shot like that is acceptable. And
I believe I'd rather shoot the 8 here than shoot the...
Yeah, well, I'd definitely shoot the 8 here. Yeah. No, he has to really concentrate on just pocketing the 8 and forget about the cue ball. No, he's elevating, which I don't particularly care for.
No, I just shoot at this ball. I forget everything else.
Okay, game number 1 goes to Freddy Bentivegna, who leads in the match 1-0. This is a race to 5. Whichever player wins 5 games first is the winner of the match. I think this is a pretty fair test, buddy. You're playing a race to 5 and 4.5-inch pockets.
Single elimination.
Yeah, I think it's a fair test, and you really shouldn't hear any complaints about the length of the match, because
right.
it's a lengthy match, race to 5, especially considering the size of the pockets.
Right, right. You know, he's got a few spectators today, early first-round matches.
No, Freddie has opted to break the balls to the same pocket that he had in the prior game. Eddie elected to break the balls to the lower right-hand corner. Freddie likes to break the balls to the lower left-hand corner.
Oh. Oh, he got away with it.
He may have gotten away with it, but when you got a... Maybe with Eddie he's gotten away with it because Eddie doesn't seem to be seeing the balls that clearly right now. But if you get a guy up there that has an eagle eye like an Efren Reyes or Nick Varner yourself, I don't think he would have gotten away with it.
No, they just cut this ball in.
Yeah, right. He's close to the ball. He shouldn't have much of a problem cutting this ball in if he has come to the tournament prepared.
Right.
And that's so important. When you go to a tournament, you must prepare yourself. You have to come to the tournament focused. And if I were down on a playing surface, there wouldn't be any indecision in my mind. I just cut the 6 in. He would like to just brush the 10-1 there.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Okay, now he opted to play...
That was a nice shot right there.
Play the move on him here. He moved the 6 in front of the pocket, putting the cue ball in back of the wall of balls.
I got a feeling that
Buddy, I like kicking into the 6 ball using the long cushion, the short cushion, kicking the long way down the table into the 6. I know the 6 is pretty close at that corner pocket, and there's a possibility of scratching there, but I don't see what else, much else he can do with it.
no. Well, I see a shot he could shoot. He could shoot the 12-2, banking the 2 across table, and just lay him against the 3-8.
Well, I think if he does that, he doesn't have the angle to do that. I think the 2 will go into the 15 in order to create the angle to go into the cue
that
ball.
ball come over.
Well, this is okay. If he hits the ball, he's going to get away with it.
Oh,
This
boy,
is
nice
okay.
shot.
That's okay. That's a good shot. You had to move that 6 ball out of that area, and take a chance of not pocketing it and selling out. But you had to do it at that time. Freddie has the position on him. He's eliminated the problem ball off the table, and now notice how much position he has now. He's really got the advantage at this point.
Yeah, he'll bank this ball off the 1.
I think he's going to try to move the balls out.
Well, that way you don't give it of anything.
Well, that was a wise shot. He had an opportunity to move balls away from Freddie's part of the table, or his half of the table, and move them on his half of the table. What you want to do now is, keep this in mind, is when you don't have anything, just put balls in play on your side of the table. For instance, I would either bank the 4. I wouldn't go for a shot like he did there. I think he was a little too hasty.
Cue ball jumped a little too, didn't it?
Right. Well,
jumped and come down on the front part of the ball.
I would have hit the 4 in between the 12 and the rail, when going 2 rails with the 4 at a soft speed, and laying the cue ball back down on the bottom cushion. Just waiting, play a waiting game, and at the same time moving balls on your side of the table.
Right.
So when you finally do get a shot, if it ever happens, you have balls on your side of the table.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why you should just hastily jump into something. I mean, there comes a time when you have to show a little bit of patience.
And he's jumping on everything.
Okay, now he has a shot on the 8 ball here, buddy, and he's located the cue ball on top of the 10. Once he elevates, that definitely will increase the difficulty of the shot. I don't believe he can hit the 1.
Talking about the 7-1.
Oh, the 7-1? Oh, well, that's a possibility. The 3 might even pass the 8 into the lower right-hand corner pocket. If the 3 passes the 1 into the pocket, the cue ball will then go into the 2. After striking the 2, looks like he'll be in close quarters for the 15. He should stroke this ball enough to where he hits the 2 and he rolls into the 15 and pushes the 15 toward the pocket.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that shot's a hanger. Well, you're up over the ball shooting at a small pocket. That was not a hanger.
I know. When you're over a ball shooting at a big pocket, it's not a hanger.
Right. He's back in the same place.
He likes it over there, I guess.
Well, here, if the 3 don't pass, I would just nip that ball and come down to the middle of the rail.
The 3 is the ball that's below the foot spot, with the 1 ball to the right.
Now, if it passes, I would shoot, but if it doesn't pass, it passes. Evidently, it passes.
Even if the 3 passes, that's a very risky shot.
Oh, I don't like this
in the sense that if you miss the 3, you sell out so many balls. If you make the 3, speed is very important on this particular shot. Well, he's gotten away with it because now the 1 has blocked the path of the 7 ball. If he had any intentions of banking the 7 cross corner, the 1 foiled that immediately.
That's a pretty good shot if you just take it. Okay.
Okay, now this shot here, in order to preserve your position, but since he has the lead, okay, I would I'd like to shoot the shot he's shooting. But if I would have been the underdog trailing, I would have kicked into the 10 and 11 using the short rail first.
Right.
Okay, now this isn't a bad shot here, buddy. He's going to bank the 3 ball in hopes of getting him behind the 12. The 12 will then block the path of the cue ball into the 1, so he will be unable to pocket the 1. Now he shouldn't really try to pocket this ball. He should just play cue ball control and cue ball speed and get the 3 ball over toward his pocket somewhere and leave his opponent distance.
Right.
Unless he just goes all out for the pocket. And goes, well, he went all out for the pocket. No, I don't like that shot.
The only thing good can happen there is make the ball. The only thing can happen there is make the ball. If he makes the ball, he's okay. If he misses it, he's done.
Well, considering that he's trailing 5-0 in the match, I really can't really totally disagree with his choice.
Well, yeah, but he had a higher percentage shot, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he did also. Now he must go for the pocket here. I mean, he can't expect to get behind the 7 and say, well, I'll shoot this shot because I can move the 7.
I would do this.
Right, you either shoot the 3 for the pocket or you just eliminate the 7 without touching the 3.
I just bump behind the 7 and don't bump it hard. Just bump behind the 7.
That's fine. But if he shoots the 3, saying, well, if I miss the 3, I'll go into the 7, that's not the shot because the 3 will then bounce back out for a bank cross corner for his opponent.
Right.
And then he'll lose the game that way.
He made it. No, he didn't. He missed it and let his
he would have
opponent
made
right
it.
back in.
He would have made it in the 5-inch pocket. Yeah. Now that 2 ball is a very big ball because that's certainly in the path of the cue ball coming cross table off the 7. He's electing to play the combination. I don't like this shot.
He missed it. Ah.
Rail first. And he still doesn't have what you may consider something easy. After pocketing the 10, he still has a problem getting position on the next ball, whether it be the 11 or the 2.
I just play one rail position here. I try to go between the 11 and 12. Or 2 rail position, rather. I try to go on this side of it, like that.
Like that.
Like
right.
that.
That's a good route to take.
If he misses the 12, he's in real good shape. Here he still has an option. He can just shoot the 3 and stick. But he leaves him the 5 if he does that. Let's see. He's cutting at the 2.
Well, he wouldn't stick. He'd just drag the cue ball behind the 11 on the bottom cushion.
Yeah.
Cutting at the 2 is okay, but I don't think he can get rewarded for it, even if he pockets the ball.
I think this is a sellout shot here.
Oh, he hit it really nice. Okay, he's pocketed the 2 ball. Quite difficult shot. Risky. Nevertheless, he's pocketed the 2 ball, and he steps to the table now. And he's got a problem. The 3 ball's in the jaws of the pocket. And if he sends the 12 into it,
He got to use the 12.
he's going to have to follow the ball back down the table using the 12, getting cushion first into the 3 ball in hopes that the 12 leaves the area, and it doesn't have to.
He don't want to leave a bank on the 12, which he's very capable of leaving. He can leave a bank on the 12 real easy here.
Well, I'll tell you a shot that's not totally out of the question is shooting the 11 underneath the 3. I guarantee you he can take that 3 out of that pocket with that 11 ball.
He's got to cut the 11 quite a bit to do that, though. He got to hit it pretty firm. He's cutting at the 12. He's trying to cut the 12 in.
Well, I don't know if he's doing that. He's trying to cut the 12 then.
If he leaves him a shot at 5-3, it's over. This should be over.
See, now look, once again, if he was able to cut the 12, then he wouldn't have gotten rewarded any more than one ball. I like, on that particular shot, I like hitting the 11 in the back as the 3. I know.
Oh, I wouldn't shoot that. I'd shoot the 5.
Much bigger pocket. But this way, he's playing a little safer with the cue ball.
Even safer with the stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with your shot. But
The other shot, he wins the game.
yeah,
He
I
needs
agree
3.
with your shot. I agree with your shot, totally. If he's cutting this ball in here, he risks a chance of scratching cross-side. Well, he hit that really nicely. Hit the proper side of the ball. Now, I believe Eddie has 6 balls. He has 5 that we can see, and I know he has at least 1 in the pocket. So he has 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure. I think on any other matches that we do, we're going to have to brief the players to put all balls in plain view so we can see them.
I
But
think
it's tough enough keeping them in their chair.
Right. I think he can dig this one out okay. And it's a position where you can't shoot the 5 unless you're bugs.
He
Well, you
played
can
that
from up
shot.
there.
You know, he played that double kiss shot on the
played-
11. He's
He
going to get
played the
lucky
Jersey
here.
Red shot.
Right, he did the Jersey Red shot. And for the viewers out there that don't know what Buddy's talking about when he says that's the Jersey Red shot, Jersey Red actually, he's the creator of that particular shot. Hitting the object ball first, cue ball into the cushion, off of the cushion, back into the object ball, and kissing it toward your pocket. Now, if you go back on the tape, you can see what I'm talking about. That's the Jersey Red shot. Jack Britt out of Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Well, the only thing I don't like about this shot here, Bill, is the only thing good can happen if you don't. You have to hit it pretty hard, because if you don't hit it hard, the only good thing can happen is the ball go in the hole. If it doesn't go in the hole, you leave a shot.
I myself, I wouldn't even try to play 11 ball down table. I'd just stick him behind the 12.
He hit it hard.
Okay, well that's now if he's left in the 5, he's going to put himself in trouble. Now
I
the
think
12
the
ball
11
rolled up, 11 ball rolled in between the 5 and the cue ball. You know, he hasn't left him anything to speak of. Okay, keep in mind Eddie has a minimum of 6 or 7 balls, so therefore he shouldn't be really concerned about getting himself in a good position at this moment. He should be more concerned about getting balls out of play. If he tries to force the issue here, I'm afraid he's going to leave Freddy an offensive shot. Now, that was a wise shot. That was a smart shot. He did something very simple.
Very simple.
And now his opponent doesn't have anything that's workable here.
Eddie Taylor's the greatest philosopher of this game I ever met. He said, when you're in a tough spot, find the simplest thing to do.
Find that unappreciable shot.
Yeah, a simple
And all
shot.
of a sudden, those little simple shots, them unappreciable shots, become very important.
Right. He said, when you're in a tough shot, don't look for it. When you're in a tough spot, don't look for a tough shot. Look for an easy shot.
Right. I like that. I
And
like
so
that.
many people, they get in a tough shot, they think they've got to come with it. They get in a tough spot, think they have to come with a miraculous shot.
Yeah, or create something.
Right,
Create
absolutely.
something, you know?
When all they have to do, maybe some instances, just nip a ball and touch a rail.
Yeah.
You know, or something really simple
Yeah.
that is just really out of their sight, out of their vision.
That's true. That's one of the reasons I really like sitting next to you. True, true.
Okay. What do you do, Buckaroo? I just banked 11 over to my side of the table. Stick the cue ball on the end rail to keep him off the 5.
Yeah, let's do something very simple.
Just banked the 11, one rail across the table. to the other side and lag the cue ball to this end rail. Try to get as close to the end rail as you can. I wouldn't shoot nothing up there.
Okay, now this is okay because he has he's at a deficit here of about 3 balls. He wanted to bank to 13 in between the 5, 11, and the cushion,
And that's
sending it
suicidal.
down table, leaving nothing, and getting a ball down table.
See, this shot's no good now. The way he hit it is no good. He's gonna leave a shot. One thing he has going for him, though, Eddie's not really anxious to shoot. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, he has
not at distances. He'd rather duck. He'd rather find a way to duck.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you really don't have a good duck either.
I'll tell you the truth. Well, I kind of like shooting at the 13 here because you're playing somebody that don't like to shoot the long shot either.
You mean
But he
shooting
will.
at 13
But he
and
will.
drawing the cue ball into the 14.
And he's wanting to stick
Stroke
up there.
it,
He's
stroke
wanting
it.
to stick up there.
You can't roll this shot. You're going to have to stroke it.
Oh, I wouldn't have came out away from the rail.
You know, you would have had to stroke that ball with a low ball, and you can't be afraid of the speed that you had to hit it with.
Right.
If you hit it with the correct speed, okay, which is a hard speed, you would have then drew the cue ball into the 14, and the cue ball would have been somewhere against that bottom cushion. Instead, now he's a foot off that bottom cushion. Freddie steps to the table with a good opportunity.
Right. Here, I try to just go right into the 13, hoping it'll come to my side. Just hit it with a high ball and go right into it.
If the angle suggests that's possible, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Okay, now he tried to create an angle there, and that's why he overcut the 11. He tried to get him back at the 13 to kick it
Kick
off
it
of that
toward his
cushion.
hole.
And in order to do that, he had to create an angle, and the angle that he had to create suggested that he misses the ball.
Right.
So,
He has a good shot here. If he can bank the 11, this is a game-winning shot.
oh yeah, this is,
All you do here is make sure you get this ball close to the hole.
yeah. Just missed the kiss, missed the kiss. Oh, you have to miss the kiss on the shot.
Have to miss the
You have to
kiss.
miss the kiss.
See, that's the worst he could possibly hit that shot, and it's still okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's the advantage of shooting the correct shot. The correct shot, when you shoot the correct shot playing one pocket, a lot of times if you hit that shot poorly, you'll still be okay.
Okay, now Freddie is in a pretty tough situation here. You know, now what I would do with this particular shot, buddy, I would bank the 5, elevating and banking the 5 into the 14 and 12. I would elevate so the cue ball would go off that side cushion and back down toward the bottom cushion. Now he's being a little too creative here. I don't like this. I mean, what's he
He's gonna
doing?
hit this hard. He's banking it 2 rails across.
Well, his pocket is the one pocket that's to the left here. Look at the cue ball. Now, that's trying to be too creative. So, slowly, he was getting the balls into play down here. Okay,
Right.
why would he elect to shoot that shot at this time of the game?
I don't know. Before I would have done something like that. If the 5 would have been on a scratch angle, I would have shot the 13. Game winner right there.
Okay, Eddie was in the 1 hole there. Freddie should have definitely moved the 5 ball back up table into the 2 balls on the rail. I mean, the shot he elected to shoot was asking just a little bit too much, I believe.
Right. We're knotted up now, 1 game apiece. And a race to 5. And the tension grows and the players mount their frustrations.
Okay, and I'm going to players to put the balls in the rack so in plain sight so it can count. Okay, now the break as a 9 ball is one of the most important shots in one pocket. The break in 9 ball is one of the most important shots in the game of 9 ball. Equally so, the break in 1 pocket. You really
Absolutely.
have to concentrate on the break and perfect a good stroke on the break. Okay, now the balls are opening up really nicely off of the break
Looks like
here.
he has a bank on the 4.
Well,
Looks
he
like he has a bank. Ooh. Suicide. Ooh. Boy, he had to really miss that. He had.
okay. Now, what I do here, buddy, okay, if I want to get
On
any balls,
4.
Well, yeah, right. But I would go into the 9-2 here, playing the 1-4 combination. Not real hard, just hard enough to break the balls open because the one ball's not going to go very far. It's going to stay in front of the pocket.
I believe I'd play position on the 3.
Well, I'm looking to run the 8 balls here.
Yeah. See, everything could leave there. If he has to cut the 1 a little bit.
Well, I'm saying that if the 1 doesn't go anywhere, I would try to open up the balls a little more than they are opened up. Now, he got a lot of slide off of that cushion, though. He played
sure
on new
did.
cloth, which I'm certainly sure he's really not that accustomed to playing on new cloth. When you play on new cloth, you can feel safely sure that you're going to get a lot of slide.
Right. That was your shot earlier.
Yeah, well, yeah, right, but the 1 ball would have been a little closer to the pocket.
Right. Now here he has to be concerned about going way up table.
Right, he has to have a good cue ball speed here.
You got to stretch for this. This is a tough shot having to stretch like this for it.
No, he hit it very nicely.
He sure did. Now do you play for the 7? 7-2? You go for the 7-2?
In between the 9-7 here? That's a very difficult shot. I don't think I would
Well,
do
what do
that
you do?
now. I don't think I would do that now. I would. I might just go cross table and try to nip the 11.
I think he's going for the 7-2. 7-2 and 10.
Well,
all
the problem
going
with
his
this
hole.
shot, if he hits the 7 in the face, he puts himself in a lot of trouble here. Well, if it was lying that natural,
Yeah.
I don't blame him. But I think he still made a real good shot in enabling himself to get the cue ball between the 9-7.
Well, if he has the angle to play the 2 to the 10,
Oh, we're in
I
by-
would shoot that.
for sure.
But if he doesn't, here is where I would try to go into the 8, Billy. If he could go into the 8 off of the 7,
Mm-hmm.
would open everything up.
Okay, now he's shooting the 2, and I don't know. He's going to try to get behind. Oh, he has the angle there.
Now he's out of angles. He's run out of angles. You've heard of running out of shots. He has ran out of angles. This
Let's get a close-up.
6 ball is a tough bank on this equipment.
Rick, let's get a close-up of the cue ball and the 10 ball in relation to which ball is closer to the cushion. If the 10 ball is out off the cushion more so than the cue ball, then he can shoot this ball. It looked like it was straight in the weight rule.
See, this shot here is tough. Believe me, this is a tough shot right here to bank this ball. This equipment is hard to spin that ball toward your hole. He's just going to have to lag this shot. That's what he's doing. He's lagging. He's lagging. That's a good shot. That's the way to shoot that shot. He left Freddie maybe I think the 7's got the bank blocked.
I think it does also.
But he has a great shot here. He can shoot this ball and stick him right on top of the 8, maybe bumping the 7 or the 15 right on over, or the 12 rather, right on over to his hole.
The ball you're
I'm saying shoot
suggesting,
15.
the 15 ball is the ball that's on top of the 8 near the foot
Right,
spot.
and stick right there. Stick right there, maybe even hitting the 7 or the
Okay.
15 over against your hole and just sticking right on top
Okay,
of the
now
8.
if he sticks on top of the 8,
Oh, he had a beautiful shot there. Oh, what a shot.
oh, I don't believe I believe the cue ball finally came to rest against the 12,
Boy, he had a nice shot.
enabling Freddie to pocket the 15. Let's take a look at the expression on his face. That tells the story.
I believe he has a shot here, doesn't he? He has a shot.
Can you get close to them balls, Rick, and see how close the cue ball is to the 12 ball? Okay, now we see it. The cue ball is resting. It looks like it appears to us from our angle that it's
It
resting
looks like he
on the
doesn't
12
have a
ball.
shot. It looks like he does not have a shot.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at the ball. I'll tell you, he didn't hit the 12, but he obviously didn't have a shot.
No, he didn't have a shot there. That's hard luck. Boy, that's really hard luck there.
Well, I don't think Eddie has a shot either.
He might be able to get in underneath the 8. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. He needs one. Eddie needs one to take a 2-1 lead.
And I think he'll be breaking the balls again. No,
No,
he broke the
he
balls
broke them
in
that
game
time.
number 3.
It's Freddie's break.
Game number 3 goes to Eddie Burton, who widens his lead over Freddie at 2-1. And looks like Eddie wants to break him again. He thinks he's gambling.
Yeah, Eddie thinks he's playing winner breaks.
No, Eddie thinks he's playing rotate the break, but he's trying to steal the break.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, just having a little fun. You're right.
Boy, I'd love to watch. I'm sneaking a glance over toward Louis Roberts every once in a while. Louis is playing in this tournament, and he's world known as the shooter. I mean, he will shoot. And
Rick-
it's really fantastic to look over at him every once in a while and see him coming from New York or someplace like that with a shot. You know what I mean?
There's Louis Roberts. Rick
Yeah.
overheard our conversation and immediately went to Louis Roberts. And Rick, since you've done that, up to the left over there, you can see Ronnie Allen sitting next to Lee. There's Ronnie Allen there. There
Ronnie
he
Allen's
is.
maybe the greatest
One of the
one-pocket player
greatest,
to ever
if
live.
not the greatest one-pocket player that's ever played the game. Right
Maybe
there.
the greatest that
Right
ever
there.
played the game.
What I would just love to know what's going through that man's mind.
I know what's going through his mind. Whew, man, I'm finally at a one-pocket tournament instead of a 9-ball tournament. Something I understand a little bit. Oh, Ronnie's a good. I'm not saying Ronnie isn't a good 9-ball player. He knows how to play 9-ball too, but he really understands one-pocket inside and out.
He certainly does. The game just comes so naturally to him.
Well, what did Freddie do? Break for the other pocket? Yeah, Freddie broke for the other pocket. Ah.
Okay, that's one foul.
Intentional.
One foul.
Intentional.
I
Grady
don't believe
classifies
that's not intentional.
He classifies that as intentional
Why?
because he kicked behind the ball, didn't try to drive the ball to rail. He classifies that an intentional foul. He's only allowed one of those in a game.
Well, I think that was just a poorly executed shot. Why would he call that an intentional? That seems to.
Well, that's what he said today at the players' meeting. That's an intentional. He's allowed one of those a game. I don't think it was an intentional. I think he was trying to nip the 3 or go into the 9 going. You know what I mean? I think he was trying to go into the 9 when he was kicking.
Absolutely. So therefore, just because he was unable to do what he wanted to do, why
Right.
should be penalized in the sense that that's an intentional?
So is it a judgment call? Is it intentional a judgment call?
Well, obviously, that's the way it looks now that that's a judgment call, and it's unfair. But nevertheless, it's an intentional if that's what it is. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the game here.
Well, if he can shoot the... Oh, he got a shot at the 1 to stick him. If he can stick him against the 13 here, boy, that'd be a beautiful shot if he can hit enough of it. He can't. He's going to the rail and back into the 13.
He's going to go to the rail and back into the balls,
Into the
executing it
13.
very nicely.
Perfect.
Now this is what you call textbook right here.
This is textbook one pocket.
right there. Leaving Eddie nothing to shoot at. The only place Eddie can go is up near the 1. Now if Eddie kicks at the 1 that way, that's illegal.
He can't see that shot. He can't see that shot. He doesn't have that option
Why?
because the cue ball straight to the end rails is the best part he can hit the
I'm
end
talking about
rail.
if he kicks to the side rail.
Oh, to the
toward
side
the
rail.
1, that
Oh.
one. Okay. And if he misses the
He's
1,
kicking at the 9.
is that
He's kicking at the 9. 1, 2.
no? Is that intentional too then? If he doesn't get a rail?
He
No,
got a rail.
would that have been an intentional?
He got a rail.
But would that have been an intentional?
Well, I think he calls it intentional.
Well, then that's illegal. So what happens now?
That's 2.
Well, then what happens? So that's why we have to get this rule cleared
That's
up.
why
This rule has to
that's
be
why
cleared up.
it has to be a judgment call.
That's
an
why it
intentional.
shouldn't be a judgment call. It should be a very clear-cut call. In other words, an intentional is when you shoot away from all balls. That's
I
an
think
intentional.
intentional is when you just touch the cue ball. That's intentional. Or shoot away from everything.
Or shoot away from all balls without any risk of hitting the ball.
Right.
That's an intentional.
Right.
And that's not an intentional because you're going to create a problem with this particular
Right.
rule that he's
Well,
incorporating.
that's why I asked at the players' meeting. He says, you're allowed 1 intentional. I said, okay, what if you take an intentional at the first part of the game? And then it comes down after the game is old, and your opponent has his game ball hung up in your hole, and you have to follow it in. Is that an intentional?
Mhm.
He said, no, that isn't an intentional. He said, that's legal because it's just like you were trying to hit a rail. So he said that
Well, he's trying to hit a rail.
He said that wouldn't be classified as intentional.
Okay, I honestly believe I wasn't at the players' meeting. I tried to make it, but my alarm clock failed to go off.
Again.
But I throw away that alarm clock. You
Okay,
can't
he's kicking here off the side of the balls, up table. No? Perfect.
Well, it wasn't planned that way, but nevertheless, it was fairly effective.
Boys, I redecorate here. I just shoot the 13, the 1 into them.
You mean the 9?
I mean the 9 into them. Okay, shoot the 9 into the ball, sticking the cue ball there, trying to move something over my side.
But if I shoot that shot, I want to make sure I get cue ball back down toward the bottom cushion.
I make sure I get something over to my side. He has nothing on his side of the table. He still has nothing on his side of the table. You got to go ahead and hit that shot. Move
I
some
agree.
balls over there. Give yourself a chance in case you do get a shot to be effective. Here would be well, he's thinking shoot the 13 away, which that would eliminate. But see, those 2 balls, neither one of those balls go in Eddie's hole.
See, but the problem with
But
that
the
shot,
13 goes in his.
the problem with that shot, buddy, is if you elect to shoot the 13, you must hide him from hitting the 6.
Why don't you shoot the 1 here?
Well, that's not a bad shot. The 1's not a bad shot. But you're going to have to hit it with the speed that perhaps after hitting the 1, if the 1 should happen to go into the 7, it might knock a ball on the other side of the table. But you have to risk that at this time.
He's going to try to stick him against the 11.
Okay, now he's going to allow him to see the 6. He's going to give up his position, and this is
Right.
not the right shot. This is not the right shot. Even lagging the cue ball down the table off the 7 is not a bad shot.
Here's a good shot. Follow this ball with a high left. Follow it straight with it. He gave up his position.
No, I'm saying he's going to allow him to hit the 6.
What would have been wrong with just following it all the way to the rail and then back out just a little bit,
Okay,
covering
now-
the 6?
Fine. Now I want to bring this shot to your attention quickly. When he plays off the 6, he must locate the cue ball on the left-hand long rail, because if he doesn't, all right, Freddy's going to put him by the side pocket again.
Yeah.
Now he must follow this ball. Now Freddy's going to put him on the other side of the table again. He's going to brush to 2 and go toward that side of the table and still keeping him in the semi-trap.
Mhm.
But if he would have had him against the rail over there, then Freddy couldn't have shot this shot, and then he could have just went ahead and cleared the side eventually.
You know, here would be a good time for him to look at the 10. He's got 3 rail. He could 3 rail a 10. He could 1 rail a 10. Well, depends on where the 2 lays. He may have a good shot here to just clear everything. He may can clear the whole corner here. Oh, Eddie's just going to lag him up against the side of the 10.
Yeah, I like this. No, I think Eddie's going to shoot the 11, 2 rails into the 1 rail into the 1 maybe, or 2 rails past the 1, and draw the cue ball down the table.
You think so? I think it looks to me like he might just want to bun it right over against the 10.
I don't like that shot. It gives him too many options there.
He shot the 10.
Yeah, he's drawing it back down the table. I like
That's a
that
good shot.
Yeah, I like that shot a lot
Yeah,
better.
that's a good shot.
And Freddie only has 1 shot, and that's to go off of the 2 ball.
Right. No choices here. Shoot the 2. No choices here. And go forward with it. You got to go forward. You got to
Yeah.
get him off the 15.
Okay, now if he can hit the 8 full enough to avoid hitting the 12, he can shoot the 8 and follow up the table. Okay, but that seems to be a very risky shot. There's a chance
Yeah,
or
he don't want to
possibility.
move the 2.
Yeah, there's a possibility he may hit the 12 and scratch in the side off the 12. Anything can happen with that shot.
Perfect. I'd shoot. I'd shoot here.
Okay, now,
Not even close. I would shoot.
well, you got a nice shot, but don't forget you're shooting at the 4.5-inch pockets. And if you miss this ball, okay, you're going to sell
Yeah, but
out.
you're not going to miss this shot very often here. That 2 ball is so makeable.
Well, buddy, these are 4.5-inch pockets, buddy.
I'd shoot.
I guess
I'd
we have
shoot.
to We have to test it out before we really
Yeah, I'd have
give
to
our
go.
final decision on it.
Nah, look what he's done now. I would have shot then. I would have went ahead. When you got a shot at your hole to win the game, you got to go.
If the 15, buddy, if the 15 passes the 4 into the lower left-hand corner pocket, you play position for the 15 on the shot because it looks like the 12 and 3 may be lined up. And I would either do that or I would elect to go into the balls now.
Does the 13 pass?
I would elect to either do, no, the 13 passes, sure.
I would play position on the
13's
13.
up the other end of the table.
Right, I'd play position on the 13 right here. He played short position. Now he's coming over like you said. He's either going for the 13 next or he's coming down for the 15.
You know, I would have went after everything there. That's just the way I think. I would have.
You would have went for the game.
I would have went for the game there. I would have placed the cue ball down to where I go into either the 5 or the 14 and open up the balls and try to win the game right there.
You know, I'll knock a lot of shots, Bill, but it won't be one to win the whole game.
Okay, that's what I would have tried to do there. Because now if he plays position on the 4 ball, he knocks the 15 out of play. The cue ball then is a problem also. What's going to happen with the cue ball? He's missed this
playing
ball.
the 4.
He's missed this ball.
He was playing position for the 4.
No, if he makes the 4, what happens next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you have to go into the balls, open them up, and then pick them off.
He had ball in hand there. I would have played position for the 13 anyway. Instead of just bunting it and playing position for the 7. Louis lagging balls at his hole. I've never seen him do that. I've never seen Louis lag a ball toward his hole. When he shoots it, all you see is the color of the ball and a streak.
Yeah, right. And maybe a little bit of dust occasionally.
Yeah, when it hits the rail, there's a little dust behind it. Just absolutely not going to take a chance. 4 banks.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's,
maybe you
that
can't
I
hold
don't
it.
believe that's a very good shot. He's going to have to come off the 8. He's going to either have to stick there or else follow through the 8.
See, that 4 and 15, believe it or not, the 4 and 15 has been a thorn in his crawl this whole game.
Yeah.
Now he needs to do something with it. If anything, if nothing else, I'd do it right here. I'd nip the 15 and go past the 8. I
Oh,
would
that's
move
okay.
that.
That's
I would
okay.
move that.
That's fine.
Because
That's
all
fine.
it's doing is blocking his hole for
That's
everything.
fine. That's fine. That's a good shot. Now he can come off the 8 and go to the side cushion and then go toward the center of the table with the cue ball.
Another shot's just shoot the 15 into the 9 and just pull it back here gently into the end rail.
No, you don't want to pull it back to the end rail. You don't. You know, you want to keep your opponent under pressure here. Pull it back to the end rail, and balls start going up table. You got the position on them right now, so let's keep it and try to develop it into like a game-winning position.
I might would shoot here. I might would shoot.
Shoot the 2 ball.
And maybe.
Buddy, you're going to get spanked if you keep shooting those shots with 4.5-inch pockets. I love it when I say that to you.
I like it when you say it to me, too. Because I know you'll leave that for me. I know you're going to leave that for me if we play each other in this tournament.
Well, I'm going to have a little bit of an
Distance
opportunity.
there.
I'm going to have a little bit of an opportunity to watch other players shoot that type of a shot. And if I like the results, I
And you'll shoot it.
definitely will. No, if I like the results to favor to leave it, then I will definitely leave it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely will leave it for you. Yeah, I'm going to challenge it when we play.
Okay.
I'm leaving you that shot.
All right,
And if
leave
you
it
don't
there.
shoot it, I'm going to remind you of it. I'll
Well,
say, buddy.
I won't shoot it if it's the only one I can get, Bill. I won't shoot it if it's the only one I can get. But remind me in case I overlook it here. Here, do that for me.
Okay.
Remind me in case I overlook it. He's trying to corner hook him. Oh, it didn't get there.
Okay, the score now is 2 balls to -1 ball. Eddie owed 2 balls. That's one of the 2 that he owed.
Well, the thing about this shot, I don't like this shot here. I don't like shooting at the 9 because you're opening it. You're opening his hole for him. You see what I mean? You're opening this pocket for him by shooting the 9. But what are you going to do? I might would shoot the 14 here and just bring the cue ball 1 rail back to the end rail. I wouldn't shoot it hard enough to get the 3 over there toward his hole. So I don't like that. That opens up his pocket. That opens up his pocket. See how open his pocket is after that shot?
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I wouldn't have mind the shooting that shot, but I wouldn't have left him the 1. I think he shoot the 1 here now. You know, he shoot the 1 here. I like this shot.
Oof. I shoot the 13 here. No question about it.
Oh, absolutely.
No question
But
about this.
let's survey the situation a little closer. Shooting the 13, all he has to do is shoot this ball with a soft spin, which will enable the 13 to turn more and
Turn a little bit, bring the cue ball a little to the left.
Playing position for the 7.
Right.
Now, the softer you shoot the shot, the more turn you're going to get on the 13.
Right.
And you're gonna,
You may be better off just to cut this ball because it's going to float a long way anyway. Instead of spin it, just cut it.
if he cuts it, I still think it'll come up short. I think he has to turn it a little bit, you see? He turned it a little
He
bit.
hit it perfect.
All right, he came up short. 4.5-inch
Oh.
pocket.
I still like the way he hit it.
Oh, he
I
hit
like
it.
the way he shot it.
He did. He hit it just about perfectly, but don't forget now, these pockets are
Does
snug,
Freddie have
snug,
I
snug.
guess Freddie does have a shot here to bank this ball. If he does, he might shoot the cue ball right toward the 8. One rail right toward the 8.
Well, he's actually left him a shot on the 7.
No, he's left him a shot at the 13.
Yeah, and he left him a shot on the 7, too. But I like the 13 better than the 7.
I do,
Don't get
too.
me wrong. He's going to be okay. He's going to brush
If he
it.
passes it,
He's going to brush it. He's going to be okay.
He left him the 10. No, can't shoot the 10 because of the 7. What do you do here, Bill?
Well, there's a couple of shots here. One shot I would shoot maybe, okay, would be the 6 ball 2 rails into the 13 and drawing the cue ball.
You wouldn't shoot that shot in a million years. Leave the cue ball up there and spread these balls out.
I'm not leaving the cue ball up there. Eventually the cue ball is going to end up around that side cushion in back of the 7. Over there.
Yeah, but you're taking a chance on hitting the 13 balls moving that way.
No. I wouldn't shoot it that hard.
He's cutting the 11. He's cutting the 9. He's whacking the 9.
Well, this isn't very wise because if he happens to pocket this, which is very unlikely,
He
he
made it.
still is not going to end up with a shot.
He made it. Ah,
Mhm.
Small
Small
pocket.
pockets.
small pocket.
Now, he hit that ball well enough to
He
go
hit
just
that
about on
pocket.
any table.
Yeah, he
You
sure
know.
did. I like that.
I like it too. I like it too. That's why when I leave you that bank we were talking about,
Leave it where I can go ahead and hit it here.
no, I'm just not going to put it up there the way you really like it. You want me to locate the cue ball closer to the object ball for you? Okay, now that'll make Eddie even. Eddie now has 0 balls, and he doesn't owe any. And Freddie has 2.
Yeah. Well, I know what he's going to do here. Same thing he done last time. Bank the 13 across, cue ball, 2 rails to the end rail. One rail. 2. Try to get 2 rails. That's a good shot there. Leaving him in the middle of the table, so you take, if you leave him in the dead center of the table, you take that luxury of lagging him over to the side rail away.
Now this is a risky shot. Now he risked the chance of scratching here. I myself would just pocket the 2 and resting the cue ball on the 8 and 1. I wouldn't shoot this shot. And
Well, now
what
I
you
would-
do? What
Now
you,
I would move the 55.
yeah, right. See, once you rest the cue ball on the 8, pocketing the 2, now he can't move the 5. You see, he can't move the 5 then.
Yeah.
Now he can move the 5 because he can bridge. You know, he can do. He has a lot of options now. But you want to get your opponent near the rail all the time when you really don't have that much of an offensive shot. So therefore,
Right.
creating a problem for the incoming player.
That's a good shot. If he
Yeah, he
keeps him
moved-
off the 13.
And he
it's
moved
a
the
real
ball
good
from
shot.
Freddie's side of the table onto his side of the table.
That's a real good shot.
Yeah. Now that stems from Freddie's inability to select the correct shot in the shot prior to that one. You don't want to leave your opponent off of the cushion where he has option and he can control the cue ball. You want to leave him close to the cushion as possible, actually limiting him from
If he can
shots.
if he can dig into the cue ball here, I'd shoot the 9, draw the cue ball back, right to the end rail.
Yeah, he's already lost his position, so therefore, if he doesn't have anything to create with safely, then he just goes knock balls up table. Now he has to start knocking balls up table.
Right.
He has a 2-0 lead. Not that that's a major lead of any kind, but still, he doesn't have any position to be creative here.
Right.
You know, so he just has to knock balls up table now and just be patient and wait for a shot.
Right.
Sometimes it's so difficult to show patience.
Right. I would shoot the shot I'm talking about. He can draw the cue ball here. I would shoot straight into the 9. I wouldn't take a chance on leaving him up there where he can shoot straight at the pocket.
No, you have to draw back to the end cushion.
Just draw back to the end cushion.
No, there's no question about that. By hitting you want to hit the 4 ball as thinly as possible, the 9 into the 4 and drawing back so the balls open up on your side of the table.
Just like so. That's okay.
And that there's nothing at all wrong with that shot. I mean, Eddie he is in no imminent danger of losing the game with that shot. You know, if anything, he has the advantage. So, you know, he can't ask for anything better than that.
This is going to be a jiggle here. He's going to shoot the 3, then Freddie will shoot the 9, and we'll have to see what happens after that.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be one of those long games.
Yeah. Okay, there's the 3. Now the 9. Now you shoot the 9. Bring him back to the end cushion. Then we'll see a pool game then. Those 2 shots for like...
He wants to shoot the 9 to the 13 and 5 here. Well, I would have preferred doing that, eliminating maybe another ball from Eddie's side of the table. Now what Freddie's done is tied up the 9-7 on his side of the table.
I like that shot there. I like that shot. He put Eddie in a spot.
No.
See, he got the cue ball real close to the end rail. Eddie's in a spot.
The way I see it, Eddie can come off to the 10 safely because the 7 doesn't pass
He's
the
going to
9.
bump the 12. He's just going to bump the 12.
I don't believe he should shoot to this side of the table. Eddie's pocket is the lower right-hand corner. He should hit the left-hand side of the 10 ball soft with a soft speed. No, I don't believe I go to the side of the table. He's giving Freddie too many options there.
He's just going to bump this in leg, the cue ball to end rail. I think he leaves him a shot at the 5. Freddie's got a good shot here. Shoot the 2 and stick him against the back of the 8.
I don't believe Eddie used good judgment in shooting that particular shot. If Freddie's looking to shoot the 14, that's not his kind of a shot.
Boy, if I was Eddie, I'd be pulling for him to shoot this.
This is not his kind of a shot, especially shooting into a small pocket.
Right.
And now the 4 ball is going to go toward Eddie's hole too.
I'd be pulling for him to shoot that shot.
Okay, now that was totally
wrong.
Totally wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if Eddie thought that Freddie may do that, then he was correct in leaving him there, okay? But I don't believe I would have counted on my opponent shooting that particular type of a shot.
He hit it soft. He's got an angle.
But he's near the cushion.
Yeah, he might be able to go 1 rail into the 7 or the 9.
Mm-hmm. And if he happens to miss the 7, he can come across the table slightly for the 13. But it looks like the angle he has is he's going to go right in between the 13 and 7 without hitting anything. Maybe. If he brushes the 7, he may scratch.
What's a good shot? If he gets straight in on the 7-9, he can just stick against the 7 and bumping the 9 down. There's a good shot.
Well, yeah, but he will have to get perfectly straight in. He can always bank the 5 too to the pocket.
Hit the 7 or the 9. Yeah. Take out insurance. Hit the 9. Bump the 9 up table. Bring the cue ball 1 rail to the end rail. Simple.
It seems
Put
pretty
the
simple
9
to
over
me.
in the middle of that cluster. Bring the cue ball 1 rail down. He's shooting a 13. I wouldn't move balls off my side. I'd move balls off his side.
I think that's a very good assessment.
Would you have moved that ball?
I think that was very good advice.
Well, would you have shot the 13?
No, I would have shot the 9 there, buddy. In here, I would just lag the 2 in. He's trying to bank the 13. I would just create problems for my opponent. Leave him close to the rail.
Oh,
leave
he
him on
left
the
him a good
cushion.
shot.
No, you see, he's shooting an offensive shot. He doesn't need to shoot, and he's allowed Burton to come to Eddie Burton to come to the table with an option. He can do one or two or three different
shoot
things.
this. I might just two-rail it to my side. You got 3 balls sitting over there. You don't want to give him a chance to get deep into the game with you here.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if I'd shoot that. See what you're giving him a chance to do? You're giving him a chance to get right deep into the game with you.
Well, the game's tied up at two apiece.
Well, yeah. Now it could be a 5-2 or something. You know what I mean? I'm talking about. There I wouldn't have taken a chance.
Well, he's left them a shot on the 9, but with no chance of playing position. Now the 7 is a much more difficult shot than the 9, and maybe perhaps Eddie may want him to shoot the 7. I certainly would, considering
I would want him to shoot it too.
Yeah, considering where the 13 ball is. Eddie's going to have a shot on the 13 for sure, and the 7 figures to be very bankable if he happens to miss it. He hit it pretty good. Good enough to make it on a 4 1/2 inch pocket.
It gives him a chance. It gives him a chance to just jump out too far in front of you. Now he can make this come down table here, move the 13 out.
Your point was well taken. Yes.
You're in a spot then.
Your point was well taken. Okay, he has an option. He can either play position for the 5 or just cinch the 9. I think shooting into a small pocket, I think you should go ahead and cinch the 9 and eliminate the 13 from the other corner. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's the shot I like.
Yeah, just like that. This ball might bank.
Well, if it's bankable, so Freddie played an excellent shot.
If it's not bankable, he got in a bad spot. He's got to kick behind it if it's not bankable, because you don't want to just shoot it 1 rail across.
Well, you can lag it to the center of the bottom cushion. You can do that also.
He don't have no shot here. I don't believe he has a shot here. I get this ball out of there if I can. I just bring that ball away from there, away from this end totally.
Well, if you can do that safely, yes, there's no question that will be the shot of choice.
Now you get to shoot the 13 free.
Yeah, but there's nothing free about this shot.
You miss the kiss, it's free.
Yeah, well, it looks like the kiss is close there. I mean, you probably can miss it. But it's a very difficult shot. He's left him plenty of distance near the cushion. I think that if I was Freddie, I would feel pretty good about my position right now, leading 4-2. And
yeah, he got him in a spot.
And it looks like he's going to get a kiss here. Wow.
Oh.
Well, he didn't get a kiss. He hit the 13 rather full. Yeah, you just cut this ball in.
Shot, yeah.
You cut this ball in, and you want to use a little bit of left-hand English, if any. So you avoid scratching 2 rails on the side.
Just
getting position.
Just use a high center play position on the 5.
Right. If high center would put you that way. Because if he hits his ball a little poorly, you might risk scratching in the side. Wow. He really undercut that ball.
Yeah, he did. Well, this is real simple here. This one speaks for itself. You just bank the 13 up the table.
Why don't you just bank the 10? Who can possibly leave you this shot?
He's thinking about shooting a 5.
Well, he's thinking about shooting the 5, but
I wouldn't even consider.
He's going to have to hit this with a follow, and with the speed that he has to hit it with, I think he's going to get too much of a follow. Right, it might hug the rail, and go into the 13 almost.
Yeah. One thing about it, if he makes it, he's liable to get position on 13 for the same pocket, straight in.
Right. And when you play on a new cloth, that's what happens. See what happened there? He went into the rail, and it looks like he's gotten away with it by hitting the point.
Yeah. How long that ball went?
Okay, at the present time, the score is Eddie Burton 2 games, Freddy Bentivegna 1. Freddy Freddie is winning this particular game 4 balls to 2. What am I going to do with this guy, Pat? He's cracking up over here. He's not going to share it with anyone. He's just cracking up.
Well, it's just, I don't know, it's just fun. He didn't shoot that shot with a lot of conviction.
Well, he really didn't have a shot there. All he did, his intentions were to just get the 10 ball down this end of the table.
He's drawing his cue ball 2 rails around here.
He wants to go into the 10 here.
Boy.
He wanted to go into the 10 there.
Now he may have a good shot here. He may have a shot at the 3 ball here. He may be able to 2 rail the 3 toward his hole. The 3 and the 5.
You mean the combination?
Yeah, he might send them both toward his hole. Yeah, that shot might be on. Both balls go right toward his hole. He just stick.
Well, if he can get the 5 out of the way quick enough, yeah, then I like the shot. I like the shot if he get the 5 out of the way quick enough.
They
See?
both go toward his hole.
Right.
Well, that's a beautiful shot there.
That's a pretty shot.
Yeah, it's
pretty
beautiful
shot.
when they work out.
I'm glad I brought that shot up.
I like it, Bill, when I sit with you because you catch them all so you don't overlook anything. My compadre.
Okay, what's the score here, buddy? Eddie refuses to put the balls.
He's sticking them up
Inside.
there for us now. He knows we want to count. 4 to 4.
Oh, the game is tied up.
4 apiece.
4 balls apiece. The match belongs to Eddie at this moment, 2 games to 1. This is by no means a simple shot. Watch the cue ball. Watch the cue ball. It's got the speed. Does it? No. Once again, the small pocket saved him. That time, the small
He's
pocket
got a free
saved him.
bank here.
Yeah, he's got a good bank here.
He's got a free bank.
He's got a good bank. Freddie is one of the premier bank pool players in the country today.
He plays a lot of bank pool. Chicago up there, they play a lot of banks.
So I look for Freddie to hit this ball pretty good. No, he moved on the ball. He jumped a little bit when he shot that ball.
Okay, you just, what do you do here, Bill?
I banked a 10 on my side of the table, sending the cue ball toward the 14, 1, and 12. That's what I do. That's what I do there, because I make something happen there. I'm not in any risk of losing the game there, as long as I can hit the 10 ball good, which I feel that I can right now. Maybe a couple of years ago I wouldn't have played that shot, but today, right now, I would have played that shot. But you have to be playing well to hit the ball good enough to accomplish what you said.
I like just bumping the 2 in here. I like bumping the 2 in there. I don't like that shot.
Yeah, well, that particular shot's been there the entire game, okay? And no one's taken it.
Now he's got a free shot at the 14.
Well, yeah, so that's bad speed right there, okay? You have to be aware of the possibility of that happening, okay? And when that does happen, you say to yourself, I can't believe that happened. I'm really hard luck. That's not true.
This particular shot, he may have a free shot at the 8, maybe a free shot at the 14.
Well, he definitely must shoot for his pocket right now, if he has any type of a shot at all on the 14.
If the 14's frozen, it'd be the only way he wouldn't have a shot. I like the free shot at the 8.
Looks like a kiss there, though, because the
just
one
hit it the way
ball,
it lays.
the one ball is right there.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Hardly anything wrong with that shot there.
No, he's definitely got a good bank here, cross corner, sending the cue ball 2 rails up the table toward the 2.
He's going to hit it. Looks like he's going to hit it.
Yeah, he's going to send the cue ball 2 rails toward the 2 here. He has to make sure he cuts this thin enough, though.
Now, what do we do?
Oh, that was a nice shot.
Yeah, just kick behind the 14.
But you have to be careful not to get too deep behind the 14 because you may scratch.
You would definitely scratch
You
if
know,
you get too deep behind
right.
it.
And also the 2-ball has
Is a hindrance.
absolutely it's impaired the accuracy that he needs on this particular shot. He's in a little bit of a spot. He's in what you may consider a mini spot here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's has a mini problem here. Now, if he kicks behind the 14, I can see a couple bad things happening to him. I can see him getting a kiss and scratching into the side pocket. I can see him selling out the 14.
I like that.
But if he hits it
If he
that
hits
well,
it like that,
if
he
hits
won't
it that
sell out
well,
nothing.
if he hits it that well, okay, that's just exactly what you wanted to have
That's
happen.
vintage one pocket, as you would say, Bill. Vintage.
Freddie's going for the 14 two rails, and the shot is not
I don't like
laying
that.
correctly.
I don't like
He doesn't have the correct angle on this shot.
that. I don't like that because it's, look at here. You're going to maybe leave him a shot straight in on it.
In order to create the proper angle or the right angle for that type of a shot, he had to hit it with the speed that he hit it with. And by hitting with that speed, consequently, he's left Eddie a shot. $1. Buddy wanted to buy me a Coke, and he only had 100, so I said, okay, I'll take care of this one. All right. And he's looking to see if the 5-ball cross corner is a possibility. I believe Eddie Burton's has the lead in this game, 5-balls-4. Now it's going to be 6-4.
Good thing he made it. Good thing he made it. He left him 2 shots. I don't like this. I don't like this shot at all.
Yeah,
Not
I like
at
it. I
all.
like this shot. I like this shot. You want to make sure if you miss this ball, you miss it short. You don't want to hit it long.
The only thing good can happen with this is you make that
Well,
ball.
that's fine. You can't really sell out much. You know, and it's hard to sell out the 10, but located near the side.
Nothing good can happen with that shot. I'll leave you that one, Bill. You leave
Okay.
me the other one. I'll leave you that
You
one.
got a deal, Schmiel. I don't know. You're sly as a fox. I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to think this over a little bit. Okay. You're slick as oil.
Now here, this one, you go ahead and hit it. Boom. You go ahead and shoot at that. You just try to collect one there. Huh? Do you shoot?
It looks like if you shoot, there's a possibility of a kiss.
Yeah, the only way you can shoot this shot is if you can lag it. If you can't lag it, you can't shoot it. Unless you can hit it just like that.
Well, I'll tell you, he's got 7 balls now. And at one time, this game is
Picking them
tied
off
up at
one
4
at a
games
time, isn't
apiece.
He was picking them off one at a time. He was behind 4-2 in balls.
And he does have the lead in the match at 2-1.
3-1, racing to 5 is a big lead. Oh, 2-1, racing to 5 is a pretty good lead, isn't it?
Well, it's good enough for me if I'm playing someone. I like to have a 2-1 lead.
Just start there, huh?
Yeah, I just start there.
What's he doing? What did he do? I can't see.
Well, he played a good shot. He played real first on the 10. And
7-4. 7-4. Yeah, Freddie's got to start opening them up. That's tying them up.
Well, that's
That's
okay.
tying him. He might
That's
have left him a
okay.
free shot.
That's okay.
He may have left him a game
The
winner.
bank on the one.
Yeah, he may have. He may have left him the shot to win the game with. He's overcutting it. He's overcutting it quite a bit. Well, I don't know. Looking at the short, looks like he's
Well, you have to
doing
get the
about
cue
right.
ball. You have to get the cue ball out of the way of the kiss, and he's hit it very nicely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it came down short.
Boy,
It came down short. And I
boy.
think I'll leave you that shot too.
I don't think I'll shoot that one. I don't think I'll shoot that one unless I can lag.
This one here is a very makeable shot, and it lies perfectly where you can hit it with the correct speed, keeping it very close to the pocket.
That's what he's got to do with that shot, too. You got to hit it very close to the pocket.
Okay, now Eddie can two-rail the 10, but I wouldn't do that. Leading 7-4 and 2 games to 1. I would
I
just
would
knock the
three-rail
one.
this over to my side.
Right, just knock it up table. You don't have to be creative here. You don't have to force the issue here. There's no reason to do that. Just up the table with the one ball like
Over to my
so,
side.
over to your side.
That's good.
I love it when you're in agreement with me. I just
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'd be opening things. He's shooting at the one. He's banking at the one. He's
Well,
banking the one rail toward
he
his
may be-
hole.
no, he's played that particular shot.
Now, Eddie's got a
few
free
times.
shot at it. Eddie has to bank this at his hole. This is the game
See,
winner.
that's what a lot of players fail to realize, Buddy, is that if they have a shot like that, they figure might as well go for it. They don't have anything much better offensively. What they fail to realize that if they don't execute the shot properly, they're going to leave a return shot.
Right.
Okay? And they should be more concerned about that than
That's a
they...
game winner, see?
Well, it's a game-winning shot. Okay, now that's game number 4. Goes to Eddie Burton, who widens the gap now 3 games to 1.
Yeah.
Now, Freddie, I thought, was thinking too offensively. When he shot the 14, he gave up position. He missed it, and he opened the door for Eddie in that particular game. Remember, he had the long shot on the 14, which we advised him not to shoot. Of course, he can't hear us, but our suggestion was not to shoot that shot.
I think he was in trouble early in that game when the 14 and the 5 were tied up down here together. They were blocking this hole. They were an obstacle for him about halfway through that game.
The 15 and the 4. Wasn't it 4 and 15? Or was it?
Those 2 balls that were at the
Right.
lower end of the rack there, they created a problem from him for about half of that game, and he never would move them.
Right, right. Okay, game number 5. Eddie Burton's breaking the balls with a 3-1 advantage, racing to 5. No, he hit that break really poorly because it looked like he moved on the break and he didn't have a fluid stroke. He didn't go through the balls well.
Right.
He didn't go through the cue ball well.
Well, they're taking their break.
And Rick, now that we have an opportunity, why don't we just scan the room here, okay, and see the players that are actually competing at the present time, and also the players that are watching the events.
We can have scores here.
Okay, that's Dick Weaver from West Palm Beach, Florida. And there's Dallas West over there. I believe soon he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. No reason why he shouldn't. Scott Kiddo. There's Scott Kiddo. And hello, Scott. How are you? You look good. Okay. And the gentleman with the striped sweater on that you see right there. Okay. No, not this gentleman here. The one sitting underneath him. Now, that gentleman right there, that stop right there, that is Weenie Beanie. Okay? That's Weenie Beanie, but we can't see his face, but that's who that is, Weenie Beanie. Bill Staten from Arlington, Virginia, who now currently resides in, I believe it's Myrtle Beach. There's Denny Searcy. Denny Searcy, I don't believe that's Denny Searcy. He must have lost 20 pounds. He lost 20 pounds, Denny. Look at him.
It's great to see these guys out again. It's been a long time since I've seen Denny.
No. And this man, Rosie
Rosenblatt.
Rosie Rosenblatt from Memphis, Tennessee.
It was one of the sponsors of the Memphis Open.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, now there's a guy right back there where his arms folded in the back there. Okay, now that fellow, no, go back to the right of this gentleman with his hand on his face to the right.
There you go.
Now, right, see that fellow right there? Well, he's standing beside Bugs. That's Bugs right there. We can't see Bugs. There he is over there. Can you get a better shot of him? There he is. Can you see him? No, that's Bugs right there from Chicago.
One of the greatest bank pool players ever played the game.
Ever to play the game. The best bank pool player in the world today. Okay, okay, Bugs, we're going to move on now. As we scan some of the spectators here, there's Louis
fabulous,
Roberts.
spectacular.
All right, let's stop here and see Louis do what he does best: shoot in his pocket.
He loves
He's
to.
shoot
I love
at his
to
pocket.
see this man shoot.
Louis' pocket is to the upper
love
right-hand
to see
corner.
him shoot.
He's in the jaws of the lower left-hand corner pocket.
Okay, we're back in action here at our table.
Okay, all right. Freddie is back at the table, trailing 1-3. Freddie is a little disgruntled with what's happening. He doesn't seem to be able to get it together.
And Eddie is gaining in confidence.
Well, I like shooting the 15 now. I go into the balls.
I like this shot. It clears the hole for the 2. Now you shoot the 15, maybe go into him. He's still got enough angle to go into the 8.
I like going into the shot before I hit the 9. The cue ball comes down, maybe passes by the 12, opening up the 5 of the balls, and it's over. But Eddie Taylor said this to you too, and you said this a lot yourself. Why do you want to play position when you
already have position? That's right.
You know, that was a possible game winner too that he had there. Now Freddie's back at the table.
Right. A lot of people have position, but they'll want a different type of position, but they actually have a correct position.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll play position again when they already have position. He did say that to me a lot.
Okay, Freddie's going to rest the ball, the cue ball that is, on the 8, banking the 15 on his side of the table. Now, your priority, your main concern should be the
You better hope this
cue
goes
ball
in.
control. He elected to try to kick the 2 ball away from Eddie's side of the table using the 15. And it wasn't a bad shot. He just happened to hit the 2 ball on the wrong side. He cut it too much and it went cross table back to Eddie's side. And then
Now,
went back
straight
to
pool
the
players would consider shooting the 4 right here. The 8 into the 1 into the 4, which may not be a bad shot if it goes. He's looking at it. He don't like that though. That shot would have to be look awful good, wouldn't
Well,
it?
if I was Eddie, I wouldn't like it either. And the reason I wouldn't like it is because Freddie isn't really playing his game right now, okay?
Yeah.
And why do something that's risky when your opponent is more or less handing you things? Freddie has been handing Eddie Burton ball after ball.
He give Freddie a free shot here.
5th on the 15.
I don't think there's anything dead down here that he has to worry about. I think he can shoot this and just shoot at it. Just try to make
And play
this
shape on the 9.
play position.
Play shape on the 9. And then if he's able to pocket the 15, gets
He
a
may
nice
like
angle
the
on the
12.
9.
He may like the 12.
I like the other shot. I like shooting the 15 here. If you make the 15, you get a nice shot on the 9. You can go into the 11 and 12, open the 11 and 12 up also off of the 9.
I like this shot. Is he 2-railing it or 1?
I like 1-railing it. There's no reason to 2-rail it.
He 2-railed it.
Oh, there's no reason to do that. If he makes it, he leaves himself distance.
Yeah.
Okay, no, he's going to just kick it out of there. He's going to back kick the 15. He can back kick this, or he can go 2 rails with the 15 into the 12.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here with this shot.
I don't like him shooting
I'll
with a
tell you
high
the
ball,
shot I
though.
like, the shot I like here, maybe not particular, but I like shots like the 8 there. Just bump into the 8. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just bump it. Bump the 4 to the end rail and leave him right there. Move the 4 out just a little bit, and he's got problems.
And that's a good shot. Now, Buddy, he has this just about the same angle again.
Right, he has a
on the
little better shot
15,
this time.
On the right back, on the straight back on
Right.
the 15, yeah. Okay, the crucial speed is very crucial on this particular shot. He must hit this with the correct speed
Yeah.
and with a good stroke. He wants to hit the fullness of the 15 and turn it in and drag the cue ball around with the 9 is.
Right, he wants to play position on the 5.
Now, he hit it with too much speed. He hit it too hard. And he wasn't able to put Eddie in trouble with the speed that he hit the shot with.
See, here's a problem again. Now, the 11 and the 12, see, the way they're laying, they're really set good for Freddie if he can stay to that side of the table. You understand? But he's going to have a shot. He's going to have a shot at the 12 right here. No, got a shot at the 6. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous shot here. This looks like an automatic kiss to me.
Yeah, it looks like a dangerous shot. You're right.
Boy, he left him a game winner here. I played this off the back of the 1. I
Yeah,
played this shot
good.
off the 1.
That's a good shot. You'll definitely get some action. You open the balls up on your side of the table. The 12 ball will be going toward his pocket. You just have to be a little bit concerned about the cue ball on this particular shot.
Well, Louis' match is over. Who won it? He played it off the 6, which is okay.
Oh, the 11 ball finally came to rest against the cue ball.
All right, now see the good part about this. He has a ball down, which is the 13 and the 5. He has a ball up, which is the 9. Leaves him the only safe playing areas to go up and come between the 5, 9, the 5, and the 13. The 5, 9, or the 9 and the 13. His only safe areas are between those balls that he
In other
has
words,
up and down.
The angle lays natural for the cue ball to go up table and in between the
Right.
4, 8, 9.
Any place else on the table is not safe. You understand what I'm saying? He has a ball down, which he has 2 balls down, which is the 5 and the 13.
I'll tell you a
He
place
has
on
a
the
ball
table.
up, which is the 9.
Okay, I understand that. I'll tell you a good place on the table that's pretty safe. If he just locates the cue ball on the cushion, okay, in the middle of the table, or even favoring the left-hand side of the table, because what's he going to do with it?
I don't know,
Have an
he's
offensive
lagging
shot.
this ball.
This is okay if he gets the cue ball down there, all right. But he's created too much of an angle. Now Eddie can come off the 11 and go into the 12 with the cue ball. But still, Eddie doesn't have a real easy shot here. He still has a slight problem. He can't afford to shoot the 9.
The great cornbread Red. He's come up beside us here, Bill.
Okay, Eddie's going to shoot the 9 here.
I don't like this.
No, he's playing into Freddie's hands right now. He definitely is shooting the shot that Freddie wants him to shoot.
Oh, boy, Eddie's playing good. That's a nice shot. I didn't know he could do that.
Well, he hit it very well.
Now he can play position on the 12. If he can play position on the 12, he really got a chance to step on out there this game. Position on the 12 would be great here.
I don't think he can play position on the 12. He's cut the 5 too much. I believe Eddie has all of the balls that have been pocketed in this particular game. And
He
he's
has 5.
putting them now in plain sight of our vision. We can see all the balls. He has 5 balls. This will give him 6, and he can just play position to 2-rail the 11 out of there. 6-0 and start hitting balls up table, starting off with the 11. Okay, now he's elected.
He's going to play the 12.
Okay, well,
That's a good shot.
That's fine. That's
It's a
fine.
good shot to put him on the hill.
That's fine.
Put him on the hill, then kick. He may have a shot to just scoot one rail down and bump the 11 out. I don't think so. No.
No, he's gonna have to hit this with a little speed to shorten it up a little bit.
He lagged it.
And he's left Freddy a kiss here. Maybe. It looks like if he gets a kiss here, he may even scratch.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you one thing. He hit that shot pretty good. He hit it pretty good, considering what he had there. He made a little something out of nothing.
Eddie has to be pretty careful what he does here, okay? He has a 6-0 lead. The balls are still in play, so he really can't afford to do anything risky. This is fine. He doesn't want to do anything that's risky right now,
Well,
okay?
that was risky. That was risky.
Now, if I were Freddie, I would come off with the 6 ball up the upper right-hand corner. I wouldn't go for the 12 here. I would come off of the 6 and get another ball down table. Okay, he's preserving his position.
The 1 may be dead. If it is, he can bank one rail into the 1 or kick one rail into it. He can bank the 12 one rail into it.
I like kicking at it opposed to banking the 12. It doesn't seem to me that he has the angle on the bank on the 12 to go into the 4 without losing the cue ball. Now, if he elects to go into it off the 12, he may have to lose the cue ball, and the cue ball might go into the 1. Well, there's that 4.5-inch pocket. Oh, he's gotten rewarded for it. He made a very nice
and he opened everything up. He can
shot,
get right
and
back
he's
in the
gotten
hunt.
rewarded.
He can get in the hunt.
Okay, now this is a very important shot. You know, I don't know. He's going to really have to stroke this ball so he can create an angle going toward the 7 here. He hit that very nicely.
I would have never kicked one rail behind that 11. I would have shot the 15 in first. Even I know you're supposed to move balls down table, but right there you're not supposed to take any chances. Before I would have done that, I would have just went ahead and shot the 15 in and just stick right there.
He don't like his angle here, but I think that
has a perfect angle.
to get on the 1, it looks like he just cuts it with a little English. What's he doing?
He was playing position on the 14.
Well, that's okay too, you know, but you have to hit it a little bit harder than that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he would have had it a little harder.
He may shoot the 4 ball here.
Well, this certainly isn't without risk. If he pockets the 4 ball here, it's fine. But if he doesn't, he's liable to sell out the 1.
Yeah, he's trying to get back in the game.
Okay, now in this particular shot, buddy, you don't want to sell out the 1. So therefore, subconsciously, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the fullness of the 4 ball and probably hit it short if you let
I'll
to
tell you
shoot
the
that
honest
shot.
truth. I would just as soon shoot the 4 here as the 14, considering how I have to hit the 14. I would just as soon shoot the 4. I would just as well have shot the 4 there as to shot that ball. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, well, I agree with
Considering
that.
how you had to hit the 4.
I agree. Okay, now the score is now 6-3.
Here you just make sure you lag this ball. You just try to get as close to the hole as you can.
Okay, now he's close enough to the 14 where he's going to probably hit this ball reasonably well. Even though he's using the bridge, he's close enough to the 14 with the cue ball so where he'll hit it reasonably well.
That's the way to shoot that shot, I believe. Try to get as close as you can. Maybe even closer than it is right there. I shoot behind this. I don't go to the side rail. I go to the end rail on this one. He's going to the side rail. I don't use that rail. I use the other rail.
Well, he's
Flabbergasted.
certainly he's playing a good 25% under his speed. 25% under his speed. He should be playing much better than this, and he's really unsettled right now.
Needing 2.
Boy. All right, now Eddie needs one ball. I spin this and go up table 2 rails with the cue ball.
He's just cutting it. He's just cinching the ball. He's not worried about nothing else but just making this ball. That could have cost him the game. That could very well cost him the game.
Well, I
right
spin
there.
it in and go 2 rails up the table, and leave my opponent a distance in a shot that he doesn't want to shoot at a 4.5 inch pocket.
You just shoot here. Just shoot.
And that's exactly what he's going to be doing, shooting. And he hit it fairly well, but didn't the way it just went away from that pocket
Small pocket.
suggested that he didn't hit it well, but he did hit it fairly well. But the 4.5 inch pocket says no. I mean, there's no chance. Freddie, once again, needs all the balls on the table. He's finding himself in this position more often than he wants to. And he's trailing 3 games to 1. And if he shoots up the table, he's going to risk leaving the shot on the 14 for Eddie. So even though he doesn't want to do this, he may have to come off the 14 if he expects to win this game.
I don't believe he was shooting at that, was he? Nah, he wasn't shooting at that.
I don't know what he was shooting at there. I mean, there could have been possible that he was shooting at that shot.
Nah.
Well,
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, I completely overlooked that. I would never thought of that, would you? Is he shooting?
I wouldn't shoot. I need one ball. I would never shoot this shot. You might scratch or anything could happen there. Well, he's quite fortunate in respect that he hasn't given Freddie an offensive shot.
Freddie's got a 1-rail bank at his hole, but he's going to leave the 8. Maybe he's shooting the 8. Ah. Nice shot there. Nice shot.
Okay, now Eddie's going to have to shoot the 8 into the 14 with the speed after contacting the 14. The 14 goes on Eddie's side of the table and no further. The 8 ball will take care of itself if executed correctly.
He was thinking about the 1.
Now, once he wants to draw the cue ball back to the end cushion, okay? And he wants to hit it with the speed. The 8 ball will then cut the 14 like a cross bank to his corner, and he'll hit it probably on the full side. Now, he's going for the pocket. That's certainly not advisable.
No, he's trying to win the game. He's automatically going to sell out 3 balls. Automatic going to sell out 3 balls.
Okay, now there's a possible collision with the 8 ball and the cue ball off the second cushion.
Automatically sell out 3 balls.
I thought he was going to follow that ball. Now, Freddie has a long shot, and he don't like shooting long shots, especially in the 4.5 inch pockets, and also considering that he's really not playing well, okay? Let's take a look at Freddie's face right now, all right, before he shoots this. We followed him back to the chair, okay, and he's trying to psych himself up for this shot. This is a very important shot here. He trails 7 balls to 3. He needs all the remaining balls on the table to win this game.
I know a lot of you guys used to know Freddy as Freddy the Beard. He used to be called Freddy the Beard, but now he's shaved. So now it's just Freddy again.
Well, the name will always stick with him regardless of his appearance, buddy, so, but he is just Freddy. Now, there goes the slide. The slide got him there.
Yep.
Okay, now Freddie needs 3 balls, and he really wants to get some other balls in play, but if he does that, he'll risk the chance of leaving Eddie a shot. So if I were Freddie, I would do something that would be safe. I wouldn't try to do anything really daring at this moment. If he tries to force the issue, I'm afraid he's going to leave Eddie Burton a return shot. He doesn't have anything, so why be overly creative right now, buddy? There's no reason.
Right, I just do something real simple here.
Looks like he's going to try to go 4 rails around the table with the cue ball.
He's banking it 2 rails off the point.
He's going to go 4 rails around the table with the cue ball. or 3 rails round table with the cue ball. Okay, now that was a very nicely executed shot, very well thought out. Very well thought out.
Very well done.
Okay, and he's gotten really good results with the shot.
Okay, if I had to put a ball down here, from here, it would be the 15. I would not shoot the 1. I would not shoot the 6. I would shoot something I had control of. You know you got control of 15. It's going down. I would have shot something I had control of there.
Well, that certainly proves your point. Shooting the 1 ball, he didn't really have a good shot at it. It was quite a difficult shot. Getting a kiss and leaving Freddy an option to either bank the 1 straight back or even 2-rail the 6. I like just banking the 1. Just trying to steal that ball because you might be able to make this ball.
Freddy prefers 2-railing this shot instead of 1-railing it. He 2-rails it because he can leave the cue ball on the end rail. That's his philosophy.
Yeah, but he has to get balls now. He needs balls, and so I would go after the shot that would be the most accurate in hitting, and that would be that one. No, that would have been the 1-rail shot.
He shoots it like that so he can lag it.
Well, I would agree with his choice, okay, if he needed 1 ball, but he needs them all, so he has to put balls.
15 hanging in the pocket. That's
Right.
why. You see, that's
Yeah.
a shot that people can learn something. 99% of the players.
That's right.
Great
That's
shot to straight
exactly
back,
right.
miss it, and give him the 6. He shoots it, makes it win.
Okay,
That's
point,
exactly right.
point well taken, Freddie. Point well taken. He does have a valid point. He came over to us and he explained why he elected to shoot the 2-rail opposed to shooting the 1-rail.
Which made a lot of sense.
Absolutely. He does know the game.
Yes.
He's just having a problem right now executing, but soon he'll probably shake that, hopefully in time to win this match.
Our tournament director informed us that he'd like for us to turn the volume on outside so they could get our insights on the commentary here, Bill.
Okay, now on this particular shot, I don't know if it's advisable to shoot this shot in this fashion, considering that the ball will be then on the cue ball and the 1 ball will be on opposite ends of the table, opposite sides of the table, leaving your opponent across corner bank.
Right.
So therefore, I don't know if that shot was advisable. I myself would have went rail first off of the long rail, sending the 1 ball up the table, the cue ball down the table, leaving him no shot. Okay.
Right.
Now Freddie does have a workable shot. It's not as easy a shot as he wanted, but it's the only shot he has.
Right.
Okay, now watch out. I believe he's going to be awfully sorry
See, that's the only
about that
thing you can
particular
do
shot.
wrong with that shot is if you overhold that shot. If you hit high on that shot, you sell out. If he hits low on that shot, it's a perfect shot.
Okay, Freddie really has his work cut out for him now, buddy. He trails in the match 1-4. This is a race to 5. He now has to win 4 consecutive games.
He's got to win
to
4 in a
defeat
row
him.
and giving up the break 2 of those games. He'll get to break them twice. No, he'll get to break them 3 times. It's his break now. What? No, he'll get to break them twice.
We gave Freddie a profile sheet to fill out before the match, and one of the questions on the sheet was list the last 2 events played and how you finished. And he said in Lexington, 1987, he played a money match. And it says list other sports interests and hobbies. He does. He's an avid pinochle player. He plays excellent Scrabble, Trivia Pursuit. He's one of the best players that I know of. He's a very intelligent man.
And he likes to watch all major sports.
And he definitely likes to watch major sports. That's right. What's your favorite city? What's your favorite city, and what is your favorite weather? He said Hollywood, California, or Las Vegas, Nevada, and I love it in the springtime.
Eddie's just the opposite. Eddie likes cold weather. Freddie's shooting at something. Oh, boy, nice shot. Nice shot.
Now, on the other hand, Eddie Burton, he likes to play golf. His favorite food is Mexican food. His favorite city, anywhere there's money. He says, what's your favorite weather? I like it cold.
He said anywhere where there's money.
Anywhere
Vegas and
there's
Reno.
money.
He said Vegas and Reno.
And we asked him also to list the most difficult player for him to play. And he mentioned, what's this guy's name here? Buddy Hall. And that's true. He did mention that. And he put it right down here on the profile sheet. Name the player who is the most difficult for you to play. And he put down Buddy Hall. And that was unbeknownst of him knowing that you were going to do the commentary on his match. So therefore, it's really the truth.
Surprising, yeah.
No, please, save it.
Oh, he's shooting at the 1. Oh, if he could lag that down behind that 2, boy, what a nice shot that'd be.
Okay, now that's considered an intentional. We're going to have to regroup after this round and get that rule on the intentional foul straightened out and bring up the possibilities that may happen. Maybe he would reconsider.
Well, I think the intentional is, you know, like just to touch the cue ball or something like that. He said when you go to a rail or something trying to lag behind the ball, he didn't consider that an intentional. You know what I mean, son?
Okay, now if the 4 will not bypass the 7 into the lower left-hand corner pocket, I would come off of the 8 and try to put him on to 10 and 3 right now. Setting the 8 2 rails, right? Setting the 8 2 rails and putting the cue ball between the 10 and the 3. The 8 will go 2 rails to your side of the table,
Right.
possibly maybe in front of the hole.
Right.
But
4
only
must go by.
if the 4 does not go by, I would shoot that shot. And the 4 is the ball that he's shooting at now. Or, excuse me, that's the 7, but the 4 was the ball to the right of the 7.
I don't believe I'd ever let him see the 2 there.
Well, no, you can't let him see the 2. Now, what Freddie can do now, he can hit the 2 with a little speed here.
He
and
can open everything up.
knock balls on his side of the
Boom.
table here, like so. I mean, he executed that shot perfectly. He marked balls on
well, he
his
would
side
like
of the
to
table.
have stuck him down behind the 12.
Right.
Had he stuck him down behind the 12, huh, killer shot.
But, you know, Eddie really can't go after this bank combination right now because, he can sell out a bank, and if he sells out a bank, he's opening up the door.
He's trying to stick him close to the 14. Trying to put him close to the 14. Ah, boy.
Okay, he hit it with the correct speed. Now, keep that in mind.
Yeah, but this is, he
Don't-
got a shot at 2.
Yeah, but he does have a shot at the 2, but position is a problem. Position on the next ball. Looks like he has the angle after pocketing the 2. He's going to go into the 4. And if he has that angle, buddy, then he has to play position on the 15, which is the ball on the
If
bottom
he has
cushion.
that angle, it's no good. He didn't have that angle. He
No.
can shoot at the 4.
No, he can make the 4 now, but once again, he's going to have a problem playing position.
Now's the time to play position on the 15, maybe.
Okay, hitting the 4 into your lower left-hand corner pocket, brushing the 14 with the cue ball coming off the side cushion and toward the other side of the table in hopes that you will clear the 15 when you come back over the other side of the table and you're getting a shot on the 15.
He may nip if he nips the 8, I don't know if he can come off the 14 properly.
It looks like he's going to be hitting the 14 rather fully. Okay?
Yeah, so it'd be
So if
hard
he
to-
does that, I will apply a lot of left-hand English on the cue ball if I know that I'm going to hit the 14 full and spin 2 reels out of that corner.
apply a little velocity.
Yes, and spin 2 reels out of that corner and stroke it. Left-hand English and stroke it out of there. Opening up the balls.
That's the way to shoot it.
Okay, now he went right
Clear
across
it
the table.
there, boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, and cleared it.
that's
Boy, what a nice shot.
That's a bonus. By pocketing the ball Eddie had in his pocket, that was nothing more than a bonus for
Yeah.
Freddie. Now, after Freddie pockets the 15, if he doesn't have shape on another ball to pocket, then he can go for an offensive shot or create something because his opponent doesn't have the ball in his pocket any longer.
The angle he has here suggests he may have, I don't know if he's looking that far ahead, but it may have to play position 2 rails at the 11. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's a good forethought. After pocketing the 15, follow the ball slightly, with leaving yourself the angle of the bank, the 11 ball, 2 rails, and leaving the cue ball somewhere around the 7. Now he
boy, he spun that ball. He executed that rather well.
rather well, perfectly. He executed.
Eddie says,
this,
"What's he doing spinning his ball?" Eddie looked up here at me and said, "Woo, that's like nice shot." You know what I mean?
Okay, now this is a finesse shot, buddy. This is one of the shots that you execute so very well. Shooting the 6 into the pocket and just drawing the ball nice and softly in between the 10-3.
Right.
Now this is a Buddy Hall shot. You shoot the shot as well, and it looks as pretty as anyone in the game can shoot it. Now he may even go across table for the 11.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
Oh, he went into the balls. Well, he's gotten a nice shot on it.
Yeah, he's
the
got a
8.
perfect shot, but what if he hits a hair below the
And
7?
drops below the 8.
Yeah,
and then he's
he
in
hits
trouble.
the 7 a little on this side. He's just got nothing.
Okay, now ideally he wants to go in between the 3 and the 10 after pocketing the 8, going to the side cushion, and go in between the 3 and the 10 where he wants to end up with a shot on the 9.
You don't want to play position on a 10 here because you may
No,
get behind the
in
5.
between the 3-10, right?
Right,
So and he
absolutely.
wants the 9. He wants the 9 right now.
Yeah.
That's the ball that he wants, and that's the ball that he's gotten.
He may have to hear him. I don't know what kind of shot he has here. If he's straight in on the 9, it's beautiful because then he can just play the 3-10. 9-3-10.
Okay, now keep in mind he only needs 3 balls. He can
Right.
play the 9-3-10, the 9-3-7.
Oh.
Now he's going to looks like he's going to have to play the 9-3-7. He's going to have to. No, he doesn't want to do this, but he's forced to do it. So you have to do what you can do.
Right. He wanted to do what you were talking about. He wanted to play for the 10 next.
No, you have to make sure you stroke it back, get the ball back.
Oh, he hit
That's
it nice.
very nicely done. He's got beautiful speed in that particular shot.
Boy, he really made a nice out there, didn't he? Spinning that ball
No,
2 rails out of that
he certainly
corner.
did. Now, there's a coin that's located on Freddy's side of the table. Is that a scratch to the other?
Absolutely.
Then he needs another ball after
He needs
this one.
2.
He's
Now
3,
he'd
6,
go
7. He needs 2
2
balls.
rails behind the 13, play position for the 11 or the 13, either one.
Right. Now he wants to go behind the 13, narrowly missing the 13, and he doesn't want to go in deep because he may hit the 13 coming back off of the second cushion.
Right.
He wants to just narrowly miss the 13 going up the table. Now he hit it deep. You see, now he's going to hit the 13, and now he's created a little bit of a problem for himself, and a little more of a problem than it may appear because all the balls are in play.
All the balls
are in play. So now, therefore, he has to really be very careful with his shot selection at this time. He doesn't want to give him a shot.
I wouldn't shoot it this way. I wouldn't shoot it this way. I would shoot it the other way, moving both balls to my side of the table
And
sending
going up
the cue
table.
ball to the end rail.
Well, that's okay too, but don't forget he only needs 1 ball. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. He only needs 1 ball, and he hasn't put himself in any imminent danger of losing this particular game at this moment. Okay, now Eddie's the one that has to be creative. All of a sudden, it's the shoe's on the other foot. Now, Freddie was the player that needed to force the issue in games prior to this one. Now, Eddie is the one that's trailing 7 balls to 2. He needs all the balls on the table. Let's see what he does with it.
He may shoot to 10 to 2 rails. I don't think there's any chance for it to go. He may have left a shot at the 14.
Well, if he has left the shot at the 14, it's certainly not the type of a shot that I would want to shoot.
No.
All the balls are still in play. I think Freddie's priority at this time is to get the balls out of play. Starting off with the 10 ball. 2 rails up the table, floating the cue ball down toward the bottom cushion near the lower right-hand corner pocket.
He may shoot it to 5 or the 11.
Now, I don't like this shot because he's trying to move balls in this
He
fashion.
may be shooting at this spot.
I don't like this. I don't like this shot. There's no reason why he should shoot at this shot because he's just risking too much shooting at this shot.
He opened everything up then.
Now, the reason I like the other shot better, the 2 rails on the 10, is because he's eliminating a ball from Eddie's side of the table. He's locating the cue balls in around the same area eventually than it is now, okay? But he's putting the 10 ball on his side of the table, okay?
Right.
Making it more difficult for Eddie to pocket.
Eddie can't shoot this. How can you shoot this?
Well, he's really forcing the issue by electing to shoot this shot.
Oh,
He's
how did he hit it?
He hit
Man.
this shot very well.
Well
Now
done.
look, and if you notice where the cue ball went, he left Freddie out on
Boy,
the
did
14,
he hit that shot good or what?
and he had to hit that shot that accurately in order to pocket it. Okay, now he's going to pocket
Boy,
the
he made a
13. It
nice
looks like it
shot.
has the angle that he can't play position. He's going to have to play position on the bank here on the 7. And he struck that ball reasonably well, and he struck it well enough to pocket it. Okay, now he has
I
he
can't
has the
tell
dec-
you how nice a shot
Oh,
he made on that
yeah.
ball.
He has a decision here. Do you go after the bank here? If you go up the bank here, you'll risk the possibility of selling out one more time.
He's going 2 rails with the cue ball, Bill.
Yeah,
Or
but
close to the 3rd
well,
rail.
he may hit the 11.
Close to the 3rd rail. No, I don't think so. Close to the 3rd. Ooh,
Wow.
boy.
Okay, you must lag the 5 to your hole here. In just a few short moments, or even sooner than that, possibly, we may have to change the tape. But on this shot, you have to go for your pocket, and it's lying perfectly for you to hit it with the correct speed, so that if you miss it, the 5 ball doesn't get away, and the cue ball will safely drop onto the bottom cushion.
The only problem with this, you have to hit it right at the hole.
Yes, you do.
See, could you leave a bank on the 5, you're dead.
But you really want to overcut that ball slightly. You want to hit. Okay, bear with us. We're going to be changing the tape right now.
I believe I would have waited till that shot.
Well, they're still with us. They're still with us. He's made the ball, and it looks like he's going to get another one. And
He probably has time to change it if he changes
go ahead.
it
You can
right.
change it now, Pat.